Yo, what's up guys? I forgot to film an intro for this video because I just wanted to get to the gym. So this is the intro. This is day 6 of my bench program. Nothing else. I carved up, I ate my pre. Hope you enjoy.
Kiss your lips and close my eyes. Take you away to paradise. Make everybody see that I love you and you love me. I kiss your lips and close my eyes. Take you away to paradise. Make everybody see that I love you and you love me.
That was probably like the most AIDS that was probably the worst fucking session I've ever had. Not because of like the weight, but it's just like, dude, like I almost made it and then I fucking didn't, you know what I mean? I was like this close to getting 230 every single time, and my cues were like awesome. Feeling strong, I was feeling like, you know, confident. I was feeling like I would be able to push this weight, but I fucking didn't, so fuck me, I guess. God, and then my back offs sucked. And then the gym closed earlier than it did, so I had to like cut it short, but nope. Okay, everything is fucking closed. So that's awesome. Whatever, man. Fuck. I guess I'm just gonna go home and make my meal prep then. Shit. It's like, this is what's up with this fucking program. It's just, there's so many highs and lows that it makes it hard to like acknowledge accomplishments. But I think it makes like the end of the program, or like, you know, the PRs that I set, or like whatever, right, the progression that I make, a lot more rewarding. I don't know, just fuck. I'm just so fucking disappointed in myself. Like in that session, I very obviously, like, you know, overshot. I very obviously, you know, made too many attempts for 230. I should have just settled for something less. And even in my back offs, like that affected my back offs. It's like, it's just really fucking disappointing. It's like, I don't know. There's like a ton of things I could have done better, and right now that's all I can think about. But I think, you know, on a more like spiritual and philosophical level, this program's meant to, I guess, acknowledge that, you know, like you can like, okay, like I could either lament in the fact that I fucked up and I could have done like a billion better things, or I could take home something that, you know, actual progress in terms of, you know, what can I do next time? What are different cues? How can I structure this programming better? And I think just the fact that you're working off percentages and you're working off like, you know, your own form and you're filming stuff, like, be adaptive. That's how I were to describe this program. It is incredibly adaptive because there's just so many ways you can do it, and it all kind of depends on like how you're feeling that day, how you carb up, you know, like stuff like that. But I think I've lamented in I've, sat with this disappointment and distrust with myself long enough. I think it's time to review some footage and check, like, okay, why could I do this rep but not this rep? Why could I not do this but I could do this, right? Why is this all of a sudden hard? What's causing like this variance? I am just gonna keep walking. Pretty cool, pretty fun. I find myself in the kind of, how do I say this, like same thought process every time, like, a session goes not how I would want it to go. Oh man, I could have done this, or I could have done that, or I could have done like, fuck, I really got like, I could have done this, right? But it doesn't come from like, I could have done this, so I'm gonna do this the next chance I get, which is tomorrow, right? That's like kind of what I like about this program, is just like anything that you learn can be instantly carried over to the next session to like improve upon. But it's like, sometimes you can get caught up in like, oh shit, I should have done this, or I could have done this. Man, it sucks I didn't get to do this. I'm such a failure, right? You could like feel sorry for yourself, feel like a little bitch. See, that's the bitch mentality. It's like you're gonna fail a lot of times during this program, during this regimen. It's gonna fucking suck, right? And if you tell yourself it's gonna suck and you don't do anything about it, like you're just like, oh man, this is gonna suck, therefore I need to feel sad about myself, right? Like that's not a good mentality to have, because if you feel sad about yourself, then it is gonna suck. But if you acknowledge that some results aren't going to be favorable, you're going to fail, there's going to be something that doesn't go your way, it's not always going to be like this ideal session where, oh, I'm going to hit a PR every session, right? Because that's what the program promises. It's like, if you acknowledge that, it's just going to kind of fluctuate and everything is subjective to like, it's just going to suck. Therefore, what can I learn from each experience? What can I learn from every failure? What can I take away from every time I drop the bar on my chest? Or like what can I take away from this fucking sucking? And I think there's a huge difference between feeling sorry for yourself and feeling like, acknowledging your mistakes. And I feel like people get it mixed up a lot. It's not, oh shit, it's always about your interpretation of things, because we all see the world in like similar ways, but our interpretation of the information we receive is what like makes us like different, right? So it's like, yeah, I could fail 230 today and I could beat myself up about it and be like, God fucking damn it, I'm such a failure, this program's not working, what am I doing wrong? Like, God, I'm so stupid for doing that. Like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. It's like, no, it's like, oh, I failed 230. What caused this? And how can I implement this in the next opportunity? It's like, it's so similar. Like, it's so similar. It's like so close, but there's like that margin of difference is just, it's so small of, I'm going to use this information to improve versus I'm going to use this information to beat myself up about it, right? In both situations, you might take something away from that and then implement it to your next session, but only like the improvement side of that will actually make you more fulfilled, if that makes any sense. But it's really easy to get caught up in either or, and it's really easy to shit on yourself for fucking failing 230 for like the billionth time, but it's fine, right? There's always tomorrow. I'm just gonna go home, eat my protein, carb up, and then go to bed, wake up feeling great, and then I'm gonna try it all again. I'm gonna try it all again until it works. Because what use is complaining, right? What use is just sitting there being like, like what this program already worked, why wouldn't it work again? I already did it once, so I can do it again. Why would I just like stop, if that makes any sense? I'm just gonna stop feeling fucking sorry for myself and acting like a little bitch. Bitches never did anything. And it's like, the two different mentalities, even though they look kind of virtually the same on the outside, it's the thought process on the inside that makes it a little different. It's the effort. Someone could spend a lot of their time feeling sorry for themselves and still somewhat improve, like, the day after, compared to someone who doesn't like spend effort in feeling sorry for themselves, feeling bad for themselves, for like blaming themselves or feeling shameful for the mistakes that they made. They now spend more time and effort into actually improving, because there's always that buffer period between now and then the next chance you get to do the same thing. And depending on how much time you spend between those periods, for that gap, depending on how much time you spend just feeling sorry for yourself versus working towards being better the next time, that very marginal like mentality change has so much payoff and ROI for when the next time you finally get the chance to do the thing that you wanted to do, right? And that could be like anything. And I mean, like, applied to this program is I could spend like an hour, right? I could spend an hour complaining about like, oh man, I overshot, or oh man, I should have done more back offs, or my form could have been better. And I could just blame myself for that and spend even more time just thinking about it and not doing anything about it. Or I could change my mentality and spend more of that time between today and tomorrow believing that I'm going to improve, or going in with the idea that I'm going to improve, or going in with the idea that these are the things I need to change, so therefore I'm going to change them for the better, rather than going into the next session and being like, I fear punishment of making the same mistake again, right? Because if the motivator of whatever work you do is out of fear of punishment for yourself, from yourself, that's just more or less like a destructive mentality. Rewarding yourself for learning and understanding is significantly better because you're not spending your time being adversarial to yourself. And once you see yourself less as an adversary and like an opponent, and rather someone who can like symbiotically improve, then you're gonna get a lot better like payoff, if that makes sense. There's like I remember reading somewhere, it was like there's two types of motivation. It's like fear of punishment or anticipation of like reward, or like whatever. And I think anticipating that reward of failing and anticipating the mistakes that you're gonna make and being excited for the lessons that you're gonna learn from those mistakes is a lot better than being in fear of shaming yourself. Because if you have this mentality with yourself, if you have this relationship with yourself where you always want to punish yourself for the things that you did wrong, then it's like you're always going to see everything as a punishment. You're always going to see every mistake as a punishment, and therefore the mistakes are going to stick out more than the rewards. Because you're not focusing on the rewards as a motivator, you're focusing on not being shamed by yourself, if that makes sense. And then you start seeing other people and their advices like shame to you, even if they're not like necessarily criticizing you out of opposition, but it's a negative outlook on the world. And I'm not saying that you can't acknowledge that you have made mistakes. It's just depending on what you do with it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, that's my stupid fucking rant about my bench press program.